My purpose is the art of the possible.
The art of the possible.
Yeah.
That's it.
So if you think about like how I was born and where I grew up,
Yeah.
my dad is from Orlando, Soweto. My mom, and he went into exile.
Okay.
My mom is Swati from like Fontaine, Efandeni. In the context of my background, I'm not meant to sit on an exco of a JSE listed bank, right?
Yeah.
But I am.
Here you are.
It is what it is, right? And stuff. So for me, it's about
Sure.
showing young black girls out of the possible, that like where you start is actually not going to be your story. That's
Sure.
just part of it. So
I love that.
It's just the start.
Let's get this day started. It's a big one. Good, and you? I'm gonna have my usual matcha with almond milk, please. Thank you. So today is a pretty big day, exciting day. I get to have a conversation with Khensani, Nobanda. She is one of the greatest minds in marketing, an incredible leader, and she's definitely a wellness hun. I mean, she did summit Kilimanjaro. And yeah, I'm excited to have a conversation about women in leadership. But more especially, I think we've seen such a huge change in culture where leaders are showing us what their day-to-day look like, what their wellness routine look like, leading with empathy. And for me, it feels like we've got first-hand mentorship. Like you actually get to see what your mentor is doing and you get to learn and glean from that. So I can't wait to have a conversation. I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm in polka dots, so it's gonna be fun. She seems like a really cool, fun lady. She wears sneakers. Big shot, but she's really, really cool. This conversation is powered by Berocca. Berocca gives me the energy for my day. I can't wait to find out how Kensi finds her energy and fuels her day. Let's go. Are you excited?
Yeah.
How's your energy?
My energy is good. I've been traveling a lot, so I'm a little bit, but I'll be fine.
Where do you come from? What's been your latest travel?
I just got back from Milan in Romania.
Holiday or work?
Holiday.
Oh my goodness, that's the life. Okay. What's the last thing you ate on holiday?
Actually, maybe not, probably the second last thing. So I took
Okay.
a day trip from Bucharest into Bulgaria.
Okay.
And I had the best salmon with black rice and
Sounds healthy.
green beans. The thing about the black rice, I love black rice,
Okay.
right? But I'd never had it like this. I can't tell you how they made it.
Okay.
It was amazing. And I'm not a big carb person and stuff. I actually preferred it to the salmon, right? So like that's how well they did it.
Oh my goodness, so you preferred the rice over the salmon?
Yes, and the salmon was really good, but like...
It was amazing. Did you travel alone?
Yeah, I went to Milan. I went with friends because we went to Monza to the Grand Prix, and then I flew alone to Romania.
Nice. Okay. What does a typical day look like in your life? And I'm asking morning routine, night routine. And I must say, before we started, you told me that you wake up at 8. So already you popped my balloon because I thought you were going to give me this like rigorous, I'm up at 4:30. But yeah, what's a typical day in your life?
I actually don't have a typical day in my life, but... And it's generally, so on Sunday, what I would do is I normally look at my diary for the week.
Okay.
And I already plan, like, okay, so this is what my week's going to look like.
Yeah.
And I already get my mind in order, like, because I'm not a morning person.
Okay.
And
Are
so
you grumpy, angry, or just like,
grumpy,
oh, like, leave you
grumpy,
alone?
Like, do not talk to me, do not greet
Your
me.
personality is not on.
But I've had to, like, with the leadership roles I've had to be a much nicer human being. In the morning, I don't have a choice. So I always will look at that and be like, get my mind right to say, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of early mornings and stuff, so I should just know this week there's a couple of days where I'm waking up before what I would deem I've had full rest.
Okay.
Because I generally sleep late.
What time do you sleep?
Like the earliest I sleep is midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work late.
Okay.
My brain at about 4 p.m. goes, whoa.
Let's go. Mine is going. We're done. What is something that is part? You don't seem like a routine person. Are you a routine person?
No,
Not at all.
No. I'll tell you like how I build routine into my life. So for example, we built a gym at the house, right? And we did it for the simple reason that I realized like to like psych myself up to go to a gym or anything like that would really just straight like,
Yeah, just
so,
like
I can't, I'm not gonna do it, like, you know. So what I do is I look at my diary and I'm like, okay, I can tell on Tuesday I've got like an hour between meetings and stuff.
Okay.
Jump on the treadmill,
Okay.
jump on the bike, or do like a quick 30-minute workout. So having the gym at home actually changed my life. I don't want to lie. Like,
Okay.
so I can run at 11 a.m. or
You're
at 2
happy.
p.m. and I'm
Okay,
like-
so you're like my A-type routine personality is literally going because for me, I would never in the middle of the day just work out.
Yeah, no,
Because for me, I have to have so much structure. If there's no structure, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So you like a go with the flow.
Yeah, I do. I mean, as long as I know like how much I've got to do every week.
Yeah.
Like that's what I focus
You
on.
got, yeah.
And then it's about when do I do it. So for example, today,
Yeah.
I know that my final meeting is at 5:30.
Yeah.
The weather looks pretty decent. I might go for a run on the road, but I'm going to have a run. Like it's
Somewhere,
somewhere there's going to be a run.
Did you always feel, and I'm speaking to younger you now, because
Yeah.
I think when we're in like our early 20s, that's when you feel like you have to be a certain way to be successful. And our whole idea, especially with all the self-help that came out, is that you have to be a morning person, etc., etc. Now with your personality, did you ever feel the pressure that you have to change your routine, how you do things, be more structured so that you can be your dream girl, your dream person?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that, right? And the 5 a.m. gang. I
Yes,
just go,
it's like, guys.
I'm like, good luck, guys. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
I always think you've got to do it in a way that makes sense for you.
For you, yeah.
Because, for example, I mean, I guess I could check, but it doesn't work for me. Because like I say, so when I flew in, for example, right, on the plane, I need to do a lot of things at the same time. I can't just do one thing. So I was watching a movie.
Yeah.
I was working.
Okay.
And, you know, I know that there's a book I'm listening to. So even read.
Wait, you're working?
Like even like reading, I generally end up reading more than 30 books a year.
Okay,
because-
I agree with that.
Yeah, like it's like any moment I can find, I'm doing something, you know, and if unless I'm in a meeting where I've really got to just sit and concentrate and all of that, I'm doing, and also I play a lot of word games and stuff. So you'll find, like, even when I'm in a meeting, I'm like playing Scrabble.
By the way, you make very big decisions. So you're actually
But it actually helps my brain. It's funny.
Okay.
And some people see me looking down on my phone and they think I'm not concentrating. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, and they're like, oh,
What
she's
did you even
listening.
hear that?
She's
Hear that?
listening.
Okay, so on your bio, you wrote dance like nobody is watching, right? Where does that come from?
Yeah, it's more around just living like your own life authentically without worrying about what other people think about you and stuff. And when the first time I ever saw that saying dance like no one is watching, I was like, we're so conscious about like, am I moving correctly when I'm dancing?
Like
am I
right way?
No, it doesn't matter. Move them the way you want to move them. It also speaks to me because I love dancing and I can't for the life of me dance. Like,
Join
but
the
I
club.
don't care.
Yeah, because it's fun anyway.
It's fun, you know what I mean? So I just go in and do it. And I think also I love music, so
can you sing?
no.
Okay, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So it's that. It's like just live your life authentically, and you know, as long as for me, who you're hurting on the other side by being you. Actually, you're hurting yourself if you're not yourself and stuff. So that's why I love that. Yeah.
Has authenticity always been a major part of you, or is it something you had to really fight for and be like, this is my life from now on?
I think yes and no. Okay. So I think at the beginning as a young person, probably getting a lot of feedback around, I sit on an X-Cover bank and I wear sneakers and all of that, right?
And like, colourful nails.
You know, all of that, and, you know. So there was a time when it was like, well, maybe you've got to do this and act like this. And I was like, and I sort of tried, but not really, to be honest, because I did get brought up, fortunately, by parents who just told me that everything about you is perfect. It's brilliant.
So that confidence was already
always there. I mean,
you.
when I started at Unilever, I told them I'd be a director by the time I was 30, and which happened at 25. So I always had that. But I think when in 2011, when I took a sabbatical from working, it was really around like clarifying for myself what I wanted my life and my world to look like going forward. And one of the things was, if you don't accept Kensi, well, then good luck. Like, it's not me.
I know what like,
no thanks.
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
so it then became, I would say, a much more deliberate sort of choice around the things that I do, to the extent where in any organization that I work with or work for or anything like that, if it's not working for me, I'm like,
you're happy to go.
It's okay.
2011, how old were you when you took your sabbatical?
31, I think, right?
Jeez, that's a very early time to take sabbatical. And how long was your sabbatical?
6 months.
And what did you do?
I traveled, so I went. My mom was like, "I must stop going to these places that are on CNN." Like I was in Syria. Like,
I'm thinking, you know, you're gonna eat, love, pray. It's like
a little bit of that.
Okay.
I mean, I climbed the Simeon Mountains in Ethiopia.
Sure.
I did do. I guess it was a sort of my meditation journey as well. So I do meditate quite a bit. And again, like with meditation, what I had to learn was, you can't fail at meditation.
No, you can't.
And you can do it anytime you want to do it, right?
Yes.
So at the beginning, because my brain overworks,
you can't do the typical.
And I'm like, I used to think, Auntie, when does it
go quiet? Yeah.
And so I had to learn that actually you can't fail at it, and the more you practice it, the better you become at it. You just still yourself and allow the thoughts that come in to come in, and then think of them as clouds that go away.
Just move
by and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also the time. Like I'll honestly feel a little bit overwhelmed at 3 p.m. and then I'll be like, I just did a 10-minute meditation.
That's it.
I'm gonna go meditate. Whereas I know, like, the one guy who is a business guru in the Netherlands, Roland, he's got a very set routine. He wakes up, he's gonna meditate, he's gonna do
like 3 hours.
I can't do that. So so 2011 was when I really started to. I also became successful at a young age, which was amazing. Yeah. But put a lot of pressure on me at a very young age.
I mean, by 25, you were director.
Yeah. So it took on a lot, you know, in terms of. Yeah, I feel like I had a midlife crisis at
31. I get that. I totally get that. And what is one thing that you took out that you didn't expect to take out and you took out from your sabbatical?
That I didn't expect.
Because you know when you go on like a sabbatical and on a trip, you've got these expectations. This is what's going to happen. And I think when you let go, surrender, you get the most unexpected lessons.
You know what it probably was?
Yeah.
If I think about my journey, and then I lived in Dubai for 3 years just before the sabbatical, right?
How many years have you lived?
And it was like that sort of like go lifestyle.
Yeah.
And with go lifestyle was very much like having a great lifestyle materially.
Yes,
right? Like being able to afford stuff.
Yes.
And, you know. And so when I took the sabbatical, I didn't have income coming in. I moved back in with my parents.
What?
Yes, 31.
This is coming from like being her.
Like her. Like,
you are her.
To the extent where I was one of the top 10 female travelers for Emirates, right? Like they literally came to see me.
And we're like, girl, welcome.
You know what I mean? And now I'm like living in my old bedroom at home.
Sure.
When I moved to Dubai, I'd given my car to my mom. And so when I came back, she was like, do you want it? I said, nah, I don't need it. And actually, like, it was such a big lesson around truthfully owning like where you are at that particular time. Wow. So when my friends would ask me like, let's go out, and then they're like, let's order champagne, I'm like, yo, I can't afford it.
Wait, did you get, and I know broke is relative, but did you get like broke?
I wouldn't say broke because I obviously had, so my savings in terms of for my sabbatical ran out quicker than I thought.
Because of all the traveling. Okay.
So they did run. But I always knew I had like all my retirement stuff.
Oh, okay. So there was still a level of safety
like that I knew. Okay. But also had my parents.
Yeah, it's like a bedroom. Like, I'm okay.
Guys, I've got a meal every night. It was just more the lifestyle part of it. Like I'm not gonna go and buy like an expensive bottle of champagne.
Yes.
But I had friends.
Like you're fine.
I'm fine. You know what I mean? I would say to my friends, like, and then I had great friends who's going to work champagne on us, because it's been on me, so, you know.
It's a fun time.
But what was amazing is it taught me how to just sometimes go, no, I can't afford that. Like,
to not always, but also I think what I'm getting is to not always be the hero, the one who's got it together.
No,
right?
like, it's okay to just be like, I don't know, guys. I didn't even know if I liked marketing. I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this thing
anymore.
And it was a nice self-reflection period for me to figure out if I really like marketing, and then figure out because there's all these things on social media. Yeah, these 9-to-5ers or 8, what do they call us? And I'm like, you don't know how much money we make.
It's actually
it's fine. Leave us alone. You know. But I mean, there's all these options. Do you become an entrepreneur? Do you do this? Do this? And I figured it out at the time that I love marketing.
Okay.
This is all I ever want to do. But how I do it, has to like fulfill me in ways that it hadn't before and stuff.
Sure.
And that's what I crafted for myself.
Sure. I love that. I think I love the freedom of, like, I think a lot of us get scared of, what if I don't like the change? But I think there's so much beauty in welcoming the change of, maybe this leads to a different direction.
Absolutely.
And maybe I don't get to fly Emirates every month anymore. It's fine. But what matters is that you're actually in touch with yourself.
Absolutely.
Cool. I want to talk about small intentional habits. Berocca has partnered with us to make this conversation possible. And, you know, Berocca shifts how my energy is when I take it in the morning. But what centers you? What's that one habit that you need consistently? And I know you mentioned meditation, but yeah, what other habits do you have that center you, that bring you back to you, that make sure that you're gonna have a good day, an energetic day, a sharp day?
Yeah, and I guess for me, maybe there's a combination of when exactly does your day start, but running is essential for me. It's one of those things where it really does clear my mind.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to cyclists who say, especially when they cycle on the road, right? They always say it's so hard to have anything in your head when you're cycling. You're trying not to get
I just
don't want to die. So you like really focus on cycling. Whereas with running, I'm focused on running, but I'm also, my brain does take in other things, like and I think through, like, you know.
Do you run with AirPods?
AirPods, always AirPods. Because for two reasons. Sometimes, and this is the bit around crafting your life in a way that it might not be structured, but it gives you opportunities and moments to actually be able to give yourself mind energy, emotional energy, physical energy. So, you know, sometimes from a meditation perspective, for example, I do a walking meditation or a running meditation. Which sounds really weird, but like...
No, it makes sense. I get it.
Right?
Especially because you're not the type to sit down and still and quiet your mind.
You know what I mean? So that actually really helps me. I would say, funnily enough, so I generally run, but walking with my dog, that's the one moment, like, so my dog is Samuel L. Jackson. And
all right. I'm not going to ask.
He's completely unmanageable on the road. It's like, he's like, freedom.
And you bark that everyone stops.
So
he's 30 times.
So I'm busy. And I really enjoy that, actually, because it's it's like an hour in my life where I'm focused on something else.
And it's not about you.
It's not
not
me
about you.
I find that it really centers and grounds me and stuff. And then reading, always. Like I said, I generally read about 30 books a year.
Yeah.
And when I say reading, I don't judge. Like, it can be audio, Kindle, or just a book.
I think there's certain books that are better enjoyed audio. Because I was like, hell bent on it has to be a physical copy.
Absolutely.
And then there's some books where I'm just like, I actually am enjoying it now that it's on audio than actually picking up the copy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a book called Mental Disconnections. I can't remember. But it talks about the 7 things that as human beings we're disconnected from that actually impact our mental wellness and mental health and stuff. And it's actually interesting. So one of it, for example, is nature. So the other thing that centers me, and it was after reading this book, was we've got this beautiful garden, and yet half the time I'm not there, right? So it's like sometimes when I'm working from home, I just go sit in the garden and work from there. And actually, it really refreshes me. So I think the thing about it is you've got to be intentional about it. Like whenever you do it, how you do it, you've got to be intentional about it and think about the things that give you joy and really energize you.
I love that. I want to talk about relationships. People always say it's lonely at the top and it's the whole thing. From what I've seen and observed, you seem like you've got a very colorful life filled with lots of women. How important are meaningful relationships to you? And how have you maintained friendships, especially as a successful person at a young age, and ensured that those friendships are not just about what you can bring to the table, what you offer, but also you're safe to grow and be who you are?
I mean, again, very lucky that when I started at Unilever, the people I started with, we were all straight from university. So we were all building at the same time. But funnily enough, if you look at my group of girlfriends, some of them have stayed in marketing because we all started in marketing. Some have moved to being entrepreneurs. One is actually a psychologist.
Hectic.
One has her own business doing marketing consultancy. One has moved to the Netherlands and is doing coaching there. So we've allowed each other as friends and supported each other through our various journeys.
Yeah.
And I think when you've got a group of friends like that who say we're not competing, we're rather adding like to each other's lives, and what does that look like?
Yeah.
Also, I've got new friends, or let me say newer friends.
Yeah.
But I've got a core solid group of friends that I've
Gotcha.
actually, you know, in the last 25 years have just been in my life. And
Yeah.
they've seen me go through the ups and the downs of life. It's difficult the older you get, especially to continue to keep in touch, especially when there's Amsterdam, there's Cape Town, there's Durban. You know, you try like keep in touch. So and my best friend actually, you know, she's the one in Amsterdam. Like we try have like calls, video calls to just connect and stuff. I feel a little bit disconnected from her actually at the moment, but you know, we'll figure it out. And then I think from a family perspective, I'm a big family girl. I don't have kids. I never wanted kids, but I adore my family.
Wow.
And I've got my nephews and my niece. So every year we have a family holiday where we all go. So it's, well, when I say
you're
all,
rich aunt. You're the rich aunt.
I am.
Who just says yes,
yes, guys.
And then we're so Katele, he was like, take your kids, everybody. I'm good. Okay.
So it's amazing. Like this year, we went to Denmark and Spain, and we went to Legoland. I do not want to see another Lego in my life. Like,
you lost your mind a little bit.
And we were staying at Legoland Hotel. I was like, I cannot. Like,
this is a lot. That's why you chose to be cool aunt. You summited Kilimanjaro in honor of your two sisters, right? What are the 3 lessons that you got from that experience?
Kili. Wow, what an experience. So I think the first lesson is...
You know it's personal when you call it Kili. Like,
you don't say something.
It's just like, it's Kili. I just, you know, I'm in touch with Kili.
So the porters...
You and I keep playing footsie.
The porters and the guides, they tell you something called pole pole, which basically means slowly, slowly.
Pole pole.
Pole pole.
Okay.
So as you're walking up that mountain, and I'm an achievement-focused person. I want to reach Uhuru
like
Peak now.
Yeah.
So to just slow down and ensure that you make it. Because what's the goal is to actually summit. Not to summit in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, summit. So that's the goal. And so taking it slow, like pole pole, was like really like good for me, because even in the groups,
before that, had you set a goal and a timer before going?
Nothing.
Okay,
I really just was open and had no clue how it was going to play out.
Yeah.
So I think that was like the first one. The second one is, at times you've got to trust experts to do what they do, right? Because
trust the people
who know the best, right? What they know, because it's so easy for you to be like, nah, man, like So when they were testing our oxygen, when they were like, your bag's too heavy, and I'm like, no, I can carry.
Yeah, like I got this. I
got this.
Yeah.
You know? Trust, they know. They've been doing this.
Gone before you.
Before me, right, and stuff. So that was like also like really good. And then like inspiration can come from anywhere. So you got the night of the summit. You wake up at 11 p.m. You start moving to summit. For me. You start going to summit at midnight.
Sure.
And it's dark.
Yeah.
And you just got to trust, obviously, like I say, that they know what they're doing. But you get to Stella Point first. So Kili, Uhuru Peak is the top, which is 5,895, something like that.
Okay.
Stella is about 5,700. The walk up to Stella, first of all, is like zigzag, because you don't just walk straight up the mountain.
Sure.
By the time you get to Stella, so you've been walking since probably just about midnight, right? Just after midnight. You probably get there at about 7 a.m. You are exhausted. I mean, exhausted. And there were 2 moments for me.
From midnight up until 7, you're just walking.
You're just walking. You're not even at the top.
And I'm sure no one's talking at that time.
So at the beginning, you're all dancing.
It's just like
they're
singing.
At some stage, you're like, please shut up, please shut up. I'm focused here. But there were 2 moments that were really beautiful. One was seeing the sun come up. And just taking that in was so inspirational for me, because it was like, I don't know, I needed it. It was like I needed it.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Stella Point, the stranger, like I don't know him, will never see him again. He came to me, because I was crying when I got to Stella.
Oh, wow.
And he said to me, listen, you are at 5'7", whatever, you've got 100-meter altitude to go.
Sure.
It feels like it's going to be 3 minutes. It's not. He says it's going to take you between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending. He says, you got here. I don't know if you know this, but you got here and you danced. So you've got the strength, like, in you still.
Okay.
And he said,
so that was like the last motivation. Yeah.
I do not know this guy. He literally comes to me. I think so. And I didn't realize that I danced when I got there.
Yeah.
And then I got really emotional. And then I cried because I was tired. And I was like, I can't do any more of this.
Like, I'm done now.
Yeah. And then he's like, and from what I can tell, you don't have any altitude sickness, because actually what really like just makes Kili tough is the altitude, right?
Yeah.
You said you don't look like you've got altitude sickness.
So you're good.
You're good. And I was like, oh, you know what? I am good. And so you can get inspiration and like open your mind to that. It's not going to be the usual way, or no one would say, if someone said to you, Kensi said she got inspiration from the sun, they'll be like,
okay,
Kensi, like,
now you're just trying to be deep. Yeah.
You know, but it was just, like open yourself up to getting inspiration like in broad ways. And then, I'm really proud of myself.
I mean, I think I can just even hear the joy when you still... How long ago was it?
9th of August we summited.
9th
and
of
then
August.
Came down the mountain on the 10th,
You speak a lot about curiosity. What are you currently curious about?
I'm curious about so many things.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Like,
get me in your brain.
So, first of all, I'm a history buff. I absolutely love history.
Wow.
And so when I went to Romania, now in Bulgaria, the thing about the Eastern Europe countries is they've got so much history. So I ended up, you can ask me anything about Romania now.
And so you geeked out.
I literally geeked out. I went into, so first of all, when I do tours, I obviously do a tour of like trying to like get the buildings, all of that and stuff, but I actually like taught the history. So just understanding where the country comes from, when it was under communism, with Ceausescu, how him and his wife, so they got executed. And then I'm like, when they're like 25th of December, I'm like, Christmas Day, guys, hi guys, like what's up with this?
Yeah.
And then I start reading even why they did that. It's just like so fascinating for me. Then I go to Bulgaria, which these two countries are near each other.
Yeah.
They've got such shared histories when you start reading about them, where Ottoman Empire at some stage colonized them or invaded them, and then they went into communism. But their paths actually start to diverge when you learn about how Bulgaria, actually, the communist leader actually resigned and it went into democracy. In Romania, they actually had to do a coup, and that's how they executed the leaders. So
when you're getting this curiosity, is it just for your own fun, or does it inform your work, or
just for my fun? I just like knowing.
That's the goal.
I love knowing things, and it's just always fascinating for me. I mean, they were telling me, so I was asking about the royal family, and it's funny, like when you're in a country, different tour guides will give you different information. So I asked the one guy, so if you think about, because it used to be a monarch, so I was like, where's the royal family now?
Yes.
Like, I know that they don't lead the country,
but
there must be people who this guy was like, no, they're nowhere. Then the other guy was like, oh, no. He starts telling me about them. He then starts telling me, even during, like after Second World War, when Romania had to give back land to Bulgaria because it had been cut up depending on who won the war. And then there was this castle, which was in Bulgaria, but it's in Bulgaria now, but it was actually Romanian at that time.
Okay.
And the queen, when she died, she said, I want my heart to be buried in the castle in Bulgaria and my body to be in Romania. So when the land had to be now taken back to Bulgaria, because at that time it was still Romania where the castle was, Bulgaria had to give the heart. Oh my God! Okay. But these are things that I am so fascinated about them,
Do you play 30 seconds or no one wants to play with you?
Of course I do not.
I'm sure nobody wants to play with you, just like, no. And you probably take it very personally.
Oh no, I do. I throw cards at people. You don't want to be in my team. I can get very angry at you.
Okay. Many people search for meaning and purpose. What do you have to say in a sentence?
Yeah, my purpose is the art of the possible.
The art of the possible.
Yeah.
That's it.
So if you think about like how I was born and where I grew up, my dad is from Orlando, Soweto. My mom, and you went into exile.
Okay.
My mom is Swati from like Fontaine, Efandeni. And I'm not, in the context of my background, I'm not meant to sit on an exco of a JSE listed bank, right? Yeah. But I am.
Here you are.
It is what it is, right? And stuff. So for me, it's about showing young black girls out of the possible, that like where you start is actually not going to be your story. That's just part of it. Like,
I love that.
It's just the start.
I love that. We're seeing women embrace aging. I mean, we're seeing Halle Berry sign things on. I know, she's like signing bills on menopause, and there's all sorts of conversations. I was actually talking to my mother, and we were talking about hot flashes.
Yeah.
And so I was asking her about her. She's like, oh, no, it's not bad. And so we started talking about how my grand had really, like, extreme hot flashes, but we never knew it's menopause, including my mom, because it wasn't a conversation. But now it is, right? And just out of that, and women are still living, what's your take on growing older and embracing it versus the I'm trying to stay young as possible? Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's embracing it, being like in the healthiest way for yourself, right?
Yes.
Because I think life's great, and I'd love to live long, like, you know, but not
and live well.
And live. For me,
That's
it's about living well, right?
Yes.
And being healthy while I do all of that versus. I mean, you know, you must. And Halle Berry, I think, is a fantastic example.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know what she does to herself, but she looks as natural as possible. She just still looks amazing.
She looks happy.
She looks happy. Like, she's got a man now. I think even like, I don't know.
She's got a man now.
Like, she's, you know, so for me, it's really about like ensuring that you're still around for as long as you can for the people you love, to enjoy the world and to enjoy life in the healthiest way possible without, someone said this morning, actually, we were talking about Gen Zs and how marketers, you know, do they understand Gen Zs? Are we marketing to them properly? And the one thing that I took out from the entire conversation that Ivan Berocca said was, actually, whilst we can learn a lot from Gen Zs, and they are highly intelligent, highly digitally native and all of those things, but wisdom comes with age.
Yeah, that's it.
That, you know, so
it's collected from experience.
It's experience, it's all of that. Yeah. And so when you embrace that about yourself, to say, actually, I am wiser than I was at 25. Doesn't mean all older people are wise, but most wise people are older.
Okay. That's a quote. Doesn't mean all older people are wise, but most wise people are older. Beautiful. Outside of qualifications, hard work, geeking out, what do you think has gotten you this far in your life, holistically? I mean, I wanted to say in your career, but I think you live such a holistically successful life.
Yeah, I think I was very lucky. My dad told me from a young age that no one can ever tell you who you can or cannot be, what you can or cannot be, and what you can or cannot say.
On the podcast.
I know. Honestly, just from a young age, he was like, there's no one who can tell you that. Like, you decide what that should look like for yourself. Even when I said, I don't want to have kids, my dad was like, oh, okay. I mean, well, that's up to you then. Like, and I'm the eldest. So you would have thought there would have been a lot of pressure.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
So actually, on that conversation, when you decide, did you feel like, oh, what if I change my mind? Let me not tell anybody. Or it was just like, if I change my mind, I change my mind. It is what it is.
If I change my mind, I change my mind.
I need more people to be as free to be themselves as you are. Okay, we're closing up, and these are quick ones.
Yeah.
Bad habit you want to drop?
Maybe reduce.
Wine. Okay. What do you want to do more of?
Meditating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Country you want to visit again?
I've visited so many times, but I'd still go back. Turkey.
Turkey?
Yeah.
What are you doing in Turkey?
Turkey's incredible. It's
you know what,
on two continents.
We know we've been introduced to a different side of Turkey on social media, but anyway.
What happens there?
People get new teeth there.
Oh.
So I'm just like,
the whole medical tourist thing. Yeah, they must tell me where they go.
You go to the other side.
I go,
Okay.
But I mean, like Istanbul, Turkey sits on two continents, Asia and Europe. And I find that fascinating because you can actually tell the difference when you go through all of that. It's got a fantastic history.
Okay.
It is mostly Muslim, but it's not run through Sharia law. So I love the modernity of it while still being strongly rooted in its culture and its religion. And
so it gives you best of both worlds.
It's got a fantastic nightlife, fantastic shopping. The restaurants are world class.
What's the best meal you've eaten in Turkey, if you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, generally, like a lot of the meals. But I mean, if you go to a restaurant and you get a great meze, like it's just
Got you. What fills your cup?
What fills my cup? A lot of things, actually, not just one. Like when Liverpool wins, like
that fills your cup. It's like my cup is full. I can pour out.
A lot of things, actually. I promise you.
You're a Chiefs fan, right?
Chiefs, Liverpool, and Barcelona.
Like, are you the type when they win, you wear the T-shirt?
I wear it all the time.
Okay. So you dress like this because you just have to, but otherwise in your heart you're wearing a soccer t-shirt.
So I bought this brand that I'm enjoying. Like I'm loving their stuff. They've got these old school Chiefs, Pirates.
Oh yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
So the top got delivered last week while I was away. And so I saw it yesterday when I got home. I was like, yo, so I can't wear it. I was going to wear it.
Okay.
But hang out with my friends, hang out with my family, my hubby, Samuel L. Jackson. Also, you know what fills my cup?
The dog.
The dog, my dog, not Samuel. Yeah. Also, just like watching like silly stuff like zombies and vampires. Like
this person, today's conversation fascinating because you make such big decisions. I was watching your talk about you being giving the yes to the global citizen partnership with your band, and I'm like, this person is sitting watching zombies.
Yes.
She makes those decisions.
In fact, Romania came into my world through Dracula, to be honest. And then I was like, let me research Romania.
And I'll go there.
And I was like, oh my God, I love Romania. And I went to like Bran Castle, which is what Dracula is based on. And you should have seen me geeking out, honestly, on all these historical ways of torturing human beings. I was like, what? How can people come up with more? Every room I went, I was like, still more ways to torture human beings.
And this is exciting.
It is. It's interesting.
And your family and your friends all get this.
Yes.
Okay. Yellow is the color of joy for me. What's your color of joy?
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Is blue your color of joy?
Yeah.
So no Blue Mondays?
No, I don't know what that looks like.
Okay. My last question. What is your dream weekend? Like, this is the type of weekend I want to have every single weekend.
Sure. My dream weekend is either going for a run in the morning or a hike.
Yeah.
It's coming back, having like with the hubby, maybe going for like a nice, like, I love long, lazy lunches.
Okay.
Where I'm not rushing anywhere.
Okay, we're just sitting,
Just like,
don't rush me, I'll call you.
That sort of thing. So doing it with the hubby. And then going home, just maybe opening a bottle of wine and sitting down and, going through and just chatting. And then finding like some horror movie or...
That's where you lost me. You just lost me. This is your dream weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
And then maybe on Sunday, driving to Kempton Park to go see my mom.
Okay.
And I always call her because I can't cook. Like, and I'll say, Mommy, what you cook? Nelson and I are coming. Yeah. Then we drive and we hang out with my nephews and my niece and my sister.
That's a dream weekend.
That for me is just a perfect, and then like being home probably about 4 p.m. And then just reading a book.
Okay.
And then I start at about 6 p.m. I generally take my laptop.
The brain switches on.
Then my brain goes, okay, cool, let's look at the week.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Our dream weekends are pretty similar, just minus the horror movie. Just take that out. Last question. How do you define wellness for you?
Yeah, for me, wellness is a combination of being mentally.
Yeah.
Let me not say mentally well, because to be honest, I think it's mentally understanding where I am and dealing with it.
Oh, I love that. Mentally understanding where, like sitting with the feelings.
With the feelings of what's happening.
Yeah.
It's also physically being well. I've always been very sort of like running and all of that. Health conscious. I lose it now and then and stuff.
Don't we all?
So, you know what I mean? So it's about reconnecting, ensuring that that's there in my life. That's
sure.
And then
that's such a forgiving way to put it.
Yeah.
I think we need a little more forgiveness.
No, we should.
That's such a forgiving way. Like I lose it, but then I love that I find it.
Like especially when I'm traveling, sometimes I always travel with my running shoes. And
but
like I always make sure, right?
Do you run? I don't.
Most of the time. This trip I didn't, but most of my trips, I actually do run.
Yeah.
But then when I don't, it's also okay.
It's like I'll pick it up. We'll be back because this is who I am.
Yeah. So it's that, and then it's just doing things that really just I love. Like I honestly, like I love hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
I love wine.
Yeah.
I love playing Scrabble. I love reading.
Yeah.
And it's about, maybe people feel like I do too much. Like I get asked, where do you get the energy?
Yeah.
And actually, if I didn't do all of those things, I wouldn't have energy.
I get that.
So all of those things give me energy.
Those are your joy fillers and your wellness fillers.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. This was fun, inspiring, exciting. You're one of those people who it's like you evoke a bubble of life in people. Like now I have a lot of okay, let's see what we're doing. But I think what stood out for me is you just took a break at 31 and decided, I can start over.
Yeah.
Or I can just continue where I was. Whatever it is, things work out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for having
to
me.
Berocca for partnering with us for this conversation. That's a wrap. High five.
Yay!
After playing footsie the whole day.